where you are. Goodbye.
Thank you, Sophie. Coming up on tonight's South Today. The impact on tenants of no-fault evictions, leaving thousands of people with nowhere to go.
I'm going to be made homeless with my 4 kids and I cannot find somewhere to move into. I feel like I'm failing my children and that's really hard.
Housing charities say these kinds of forced evictions are now the leading cause of homelessness. Also in tonight's programme. Counting your 5 a day, scientists in Reading weigh up the benefits of a healthy diet. Driving diversity on the track, a master's in motorsport engineering, backed by Sir Lewis Hamilton.
What a stunning day we've had today, but tomorrow it's all changed with some heavy rain and gusty winds.
Good evening, I'm Anjana Gadgil. Welcome to South Today. First tonight, the growing problem of no-fault evictions. They're known as a Section 21, and thousands of people are being made homeless because of them. It's where a landlord can force a tenant out of their property, even if the renter has done nothing wrong. With many landlords facing higher mortgage costs, some are offloading their stock. But that's having a real impact on tenants, with local authorities seeing huge increases in people coming to them in need of emergency accommodation. Between July and September this year, more than 8,000 Section 21s were issued in England. That's a 38% rise for these types of cases, believed now to be the largest cause of homelessness. Of course, behind every case is a human being. One of them is mum of 4, Christy. Our reporter Jo Palmer has been hearing her story.
Stress-wise, it's been horrific. You know, I feel like I am going to be made homeless. You know, that's the situation. I'm going to be made homeless with my 4 kids and I cannot find somewhere to move into.
Christy works full-time and has privately rented for 3 years. In June, she was given a Section 21 notice. By law, this means her landlord can ask her to leave without giving an explanation. It's called a no-fault eviction. But finding somewhere else to rent near Petersfield has proved impossible.
Everything I've seen, I get rejected from. It's really affecting me personally, my mental health. I don't sleep well. I try and be calm and happy, and you know, but really I just don't see an answer. I've gone to view properties that have come online the day before, called up the next day, and they're fully booked. You know, it's just there's no in. And then I felt like when I did get an in, when I did get a viewing, automatically it was like they said no, it won't be for her.
Why do you think they said that?
I think because I'm a single parent, because I'm moving in on my own with 4 kids. They don't want that.
Many landlords are pursuing no-fault evictions because of increases to interest rates on their buy-to-let mortgages.
They've gone from a very, very low interest rate to double, sometimes trebled. So I know a few landlords that are actually topping up, you know, the monthly payment for their mortgage for the people living in there. And so when it costs the landlord for someone to live in their property, it's not a good investment.
Section 21 notices are the biggest factor driving people like Christy to seek help from their local authority. But some councils won't step in until the bailiffs are at the door. This means weeks of uncertainty coupled with stressful court appearances.
The judge will be telling me when I need to be evicted from the house, that bailiffs will be there. I do not have legal representation. And the Section 21 is no fault to tenant. I've continued to pay my rent and will do so until I am out of the property. But it's really scary. It's really, really scary because I could go there and they could say, right, you've got 1 week. Where do I go?
The government has said it plans to abolish Section 21s, but the National Residential Landlords Association believe the no-fault element can sometimes be useful to tenants.
In many cases, it also supports a tenant that might have rent arrears and have debt built up. And by using a Section 21, you're not allocating debt and negativity towards that person moving forward. So when they get a new tenancy, they won't have that negative non-payment of rent set against their name.
Christy continues to do everything she can and is in regular contact with her local authority.
And I'm told there's nothing. There's nothing, that they have nothing in my area, they have nothing outside of my area. One of the places they said I could possibly housed is over an hour and a half from where I currently live, from where my children go to school.
This means Christy may have to leave her job. The personal impact on her and thousands of others across the south is enormous.
It's horrendous. It's horrendous. I feel like I'm failing my children, and that's really hard.
An emotional Christy ending that report by Joe Palmer, and thank you for telling us your story. A little earlier, I spoke to Jenny Lamb, who's the policy officer for the housing charity Shelter. I asked her how big a part Section 21 evictions played in overall homelessness rates.
It's a really serious issue. 1 in 10 private renters are now at risk of losing their homes. That equates to 814,000 adults, and that figure rises to 1.1 million at an estimate if you include children as well. Losing a private tenancy is now the #1 cause of homelessness in this country, and the no-fault evictions, Section 21 evictions, are contributing to a lot of that. So it's a really serious issue.
The Renters Reform Bill is designed to help renters facing these issues. It hasn't yet become law, but what changes will it bring in?
The first thing that the Renters Reform Bill will do is scrap Section 21 eviction notices. This doesn't mean a landlord won't be able to evict a tenant, but they have to follow the new rules, which means they have to give a reason to do so. People will have more security to challenge their landlord on poor conditions or a rent increase, for example. The second thing we're really hoping that the Renters Reform Bill will do is stamp out discrimination in the private rented sector. Families with children and people who claim benefits really struggle to find a landlord who will let to them. And technically this is unlawful, but it's quite difficult to prove. And we're hoping that by making this directly illegal, landlords would be dissuaded from discriminating against people in this way. So the Renters Reform Bill does have the potential to be a game changer for private renters in this country.
And Jenny, let's look at solutions. What help is there out there for tenants facing this situation?
The first thing I would recommend is that you get advice. You can speak to Shelter, you can call our helpline or use our web chat function, and someone will be able to give you tailored advice that fits your circumstances. I would recommend that if you are on benefits, check your benefits entitlement, because it could be that you're not claiming something that you're entitled to, which could make it easier for you to prove you can afford the rent. The next thing I would say is if you're going to be homeless within 56 days, you can approach your local authority and they have a duty to try and prevent you becoming homeless in the first place. You might want to find someone to advocate for you, because it is useful to know your rights and to be able to hold the council to account, make sure you get the help that you need.
Jenny Lamb, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
And details of organisations offering information and support with hardship, debt or homelessness are available at bbc.co.uk/action line, or you can call for free at any time to hear recorded information on 08000 159 774. Let's have a look at some of the rest of the day's news. The Chief Executive of Bournemouth, Christchurch and Poole Council says using ID at the polls during elections adds another layer of difficulty for voters. Graham Farrant's been responding to questions in the House of Lords while a short inquiry is carried out into the impact of the introduction of the new rule. The committee is looking to find if any lessons can be learned ahead of the next local elections in May 2024 and the forthcoming general election.
So my councillors, we had a debate at the full council meeting last week. Councillors believe that there was a significant reduction in turnout as a result of the voter ID requirement. The voter ID, I would say, just added another layer of difficulty, if you like, or of challenge. A few challenges around forms of ID and the knowledge and awareness, which clearly is a challenge for everybody in terms of knowing what they've got to bring.
The company building a long-delayed fleet of trains for South Western Railway has put more than 1,300 jobs at risk, more than half its UK factory workforce. Alstom is building the Arterio trains in Derby, but it has no confirmed workload once the order for 90 trains is complete next spring. The trains were due in service on routes in Berkshire 4 years ago, but haven't carried a single passenger. The UK's largest train factory also built most of the rolling stock used by Southern Railway. Homes and businesses on the Isle of Wight affected by recent floods can now apply for government-funded financial support. It's available through the council, including a £500 grant available to homes that suffered internal damage or for people unable to live in their homes as a direct result of Storm Babette last month. Businesses are eligible for up to £2,500. Plans to reopen Swindon's Oasis Leisure Centre will be discussed by councillors this evening. It's understood that the idea to build a ski centre next door has been scrapped. Instead, that land will be sold to developers to raise the funds for the Oasis improvements. You're watching BBC South Today. It's great to have you with us this evening. Still to come.
Get it!
A girl's best friend, how children in need is helping children like Carmela carry out day-to-day tasks.
And with my socks, because I can't bend down to reach them, she can just take them off for me. And when I'm sad and low, we can just have a good snuggle together, can't we?
Now, we all know eating more fresh fruit and veg like this is a good idea, but how much difference does it really make to our health? Scientists from the University of Reading are hoping to find out by giving people on lower incomes vouchers towards their weekly food shopping. In return, every 3 months, they'll give hair and urine samples to help measure any impact of changes to their diet. And as Alan Sinclair reports, the results could nudge policymakers towards offering more widespread support.
When money's tight, those on the lowest incomes often opt for cheap, bulky foods like bread and pasta.
I don't want to be greedy.
Filling bellies but short on essential nutrients for good health. Now, a scientific study is giving out vouchers, £10 every 2 weeks for a year, specifically to enable those involved to buy more fresh fruit and veg.
I couldn't afford to buy fruit and veg all the time, so coming here and being able to get that fruit and veg is a godsend, an absolute godsend.
Compare them to others from the community who haven't had the vouchers.
We can look at things like polyphenols, which are often the colourful pigments in fruits and vegetables. We can look at sugars and salts. And then as we do the intervention with the food vouchers, hopefully we'll see that people are increasingly eating more fruit and vegetables and generally eating healthier.
I hope it opens up the eyes, to realise the real benefits of fruit and veg. I think the science will back that up, and the families will see health benefits, like energy levels, that kind of thing. Yeah, I'm excited to be part of it.
All involved hope their findings will provide clear data and persuade policymakers and politicians to put more public money where their mouth is. Alan Sinclair, BBC South Today.
I don't think I've had my 5 a day. I'll have to eat some broccoli tonight, I think. Now, let's get the sport with Lewis Coombs. Now, you're talking about Sir Lewis Hamilton. What's he been up to, Lewis?
He's up to some great things, absolutely, yeah. Sir Lewis Hamilton has blazed a trail through motorsport, not only becoming a 7-time world champion, of course, but now a leader in championing greater diversity. A recently commissioned report highlights that the proportion of black people in Formula One is less than 1%, and people from minority ethnic backgrounds represent just 9% of engineering apprenticeships. And for those that do graduate, black engineers are twice as likely to be unemployed than their white counterparts. And it's for this reason that a charity founded by Sir Lewis Hamilton has launched a motorsport scholarship. 2 students at Oxford Brookes University are among the first 5 in the country to start their masters in motorsport engineering. Catherine da Costa has been to meet them.
Then up here, this box in this car.
A Formula student racing car designed and built at Oxford Brookes University to compete at Silverstone. Something these F1 superfans are keen to collaborate on. Both have big aspirations for the future.
I hope to be in one of the Formula One teams, I think. I hope to be trackside, and sort of having a direct impact on the race car and the outcome.
It's a really competitive industry, but there's no better place than Oxford Brookes to study to get there. And even working in the racing team here, it's a really intense environment, and it's the type of thing that can prepare me to get to F1.
They've come to the right place. While Oxford sits in the heart of Motorsport Valley, the Master's course in Motorsport Engineering is designed to teach students how to set up a car to achieve maximum performance.
It's really hardcore chartered engineer level mechanical engineering, but every time we talk about physics, we talk about racing car, we're talking about suspension, dampers, we're talking about chassis, vehicle dynamics.
Amjad and Jonathan are among the first of 5 students to receive a fully funded scholarship, thanks to Lewis Hamilton's charity Mission 44, aimed at boosting diversity within the industry.
Lewis launched the Hamilton Commission back in 2020 to look at how he could play a role in boosting diversity within motorsport, and particularly the diversity of black people within the sport. Only 1% of people in the sport are from black backgrounds, and so as a result a number of recommendations came out of the commission. Mission 44 is Lewis's charitable foundation and has taken the lead in driving progress.
Sir Lewis Hamilton has been hugely influential in the world of Formula One. He holds 7 World Drivers' Championship titles, a record he shares with Michael Schumacher, as well as records for the most wins, pole positions and podium finishes.
For me, it means so much that I'm part of the scholarship because, you know, seeing him be sort of the exception, you know, someone that looks like me, dominate a sport like that, it kind of just inspires me, and I feel like the scholarship will give me the opportunity to inspire people sort of my age and below.
He was someone that you could look up to as he's young, but he's making a difference in an area he wants to succeed in. And it being an area I want to succeed in, I can take those same values and kind of be aggressive and positively go towards the goals I want to achieve.
The second round of applications for the Motorsport Scholarship closes in March next year. Catherine Da Costa, BBC South Today.
On to football now. Non-league Horsham's excellent run in the FA Cup has come to an end. In front of a record 3,000 strong crowd, the Hornets lost 3-0 to League One Barnsley in their first round replay, having drawn the first tie 3-3 of course. But with 100 places between the two clubs in the Football League ladder, it's been a cup run to remember for the West Sussex side.
I'm really proud of the boys. I think they went toe-to-toe with a team, and they didn't cave in. When you're 3-0 down after, you know, quite early in a game, you know, it could become a bit of a landslide. I thought we acquitted ourselves well, and I think second half we showed that we're a good football team, and yeah, I couldn't be prouder of the boys, to be honest.
Yeah, staying with football, and Reading are through to the knockout stages of the Football League Trophy after a convincing 5-2 victory over Arsenal's under-21s last night. 3 wins from 3 sees the Royals top their group with a perfect record, scoring 19 goals in the process. Now, this is Berkshire's Mallory Franklin, and she's off to her second Olympics after Team GB named their canoe squad for Paris today. Having won a silver medal at the Tokyo Games and multiple world and European titles, Mallory is Great Britain's most successful female canoeist of all time, most recently winning world gold on home waters, and she'll now compete in the C1 and kayak cross events next summer.
I think that there's definitely good signs. I mean, obviously coming off of winning the Worlds as well, and being world champion into the Games is also really cool, but canoeing is canoeing, and there's a lot that can happen. It's all about how you deal in those split-second moments on the river, and I think for me, I just want to get out there and try and enjoy it and just try and perform kind of like I did in Tokyo, just for me, and just go canoeing and try and enjoy the experience around it.
Of course, that's such great news for Mallory, having won a silver last time around, being in really good form, winning gold medals at world level, maybe a gold in Paris. It's come around quickly, isn't it?
It does feel like every week now we're talking about Paralympic hopefuls and Olympic hopefuls.
Yeah.
It's getting really close.
So exciting.
Very exciting indeed. Now, Friday is Children in Need Day, and throughout the week we're looking at some of the amazing things happening here in the South.
Yeah, of course, it's all made possible because of your generosity. In Dorset, the charity Helpful Hounds provides training sessions for children with assistance dogs.
You know, Pudsy's right behind you there.
Yeah,
Liz,
what
you
a
know
guy.
that.
Can't get closer now.
The dogs can help with practical tasks as well as being a best friend and companion. Simon Marks can tell us more.
Carmela lives in Wiltshire. She has muscular dystrophy, which restricts her movement. But fortunately, she has a friend to help.
Get it! Good girl! Open! When I was young, without Tinker, I felt moody, sad, alone, and I just generally didn't feel very good. But with Tinker now, she makes me feel happy, excited, and definitely makes me laugh. When I'm at hospitals and feeling nervous, she sits on my lap and it basically keeps me calm.
Carmela's 9. We've been told when she reaches teenage years, she will get weaker. We know what teenagers are like. They don't want their mum to get involved with too many things. So having Tinker, being able to do certain things for Carmela will be a huge, huge help for me so I don't get my head bitten off.
Sometimes I can't take my jacket off because my elbows get in the way. But she can help me pull it off. Drop. Good girl. And with my socks, because I can't bend down to reach them, she can just take them off for me. You just get it. And when I'm sad and low, we can just have a good snuggle together, can't we? A good snuggle and a stroke. Yes.
She doesn't always want to share things with her mummy and daddy. And you know as yourself, you know, pets, if you're a pet owner, they're endless unconditional love. It takes her mind off her condition.
Tinker was trained by a Dorset-based charity called Helpful Hounds.
OK, throw a treat out for her.
Izzy has a complex diagnosis of conditions which include autism and ADHD. She's been out of education for 18 months. Jessie is her assistance dog.
Let's walk. Good girl, well done.
See, like there's a noise, she'll help me and she'll make me feel calmer, and I'll hold her lead and we'll go to parks and she'll run around with me, have a really fun time.
She's a focus point for Izzy, so once Izzy's out and about and things become overwhelming, Jessie's there for her, which helps her be able to reduce her anxiety.
Very important. My best friend. Look at that. Good girl, rest. Mwah.
Having a dog is rewarding within itself, but to have a dog that can be your best mate and your play friend and then help you outside in social circumstances is everything. Bring her round. The relationship and the bond between the person that we're working with and the dog has to be really quite solid. We want to make sure that the dogs are able to keep the children that we work with feeling happy, content and grounded. Let's go a little bit faster.
The money that Helpful Hounds receives from children in need enables them to run these training sessions.
Well done. It's hard work, and children in need in particular has been fundamental to our help over the years, so, you know, keep supporting it really helps us.
Izzy does have trouble bonding with people, and with Vicky, they've just got each other very, very quickly, so she's been absolutely fantastic. Helpful Hounds have been there all the way.
Good girl.
Money donated to children in need is making this happen. Helping young people to lead better lives, side by side with four-legged friends like Tinker.
It's great to see the relationship between the children and their dogs.
Yeah, so nice, beautiful.
Absolutely lovely. And of course, you can see the big fundraising programme for children in need after Saturday on Friday at 7 p.m. So just start watching us and stay with it. Stay with BBC One. Now, should we get the weather?
Yeah, let's do it.
Alexis is here. Nice and sunny today, but I think you're about to tell us about rain.
Yes, unfortunately. What a beautiful day we had today. This squirrel eating its lunch earlier on today, and this lovely landscape shot with the autumn leaves was photographed in Abingdon by Becca Collicott. So through the course of today, we've had lots of sunshine, but we are expecting some rain as we head through tonight, and there is a Met Office warning for that. I'll talk about that in just a second. So tomorrow, the heavy rain will move in, gusty winds in particular along the coast with that area of low pressure. Here's the warning area, the rain warning area. That's valid from midnight tonight up until 6 o'clock tomorrow evening. Now, in this warning area, the low pressure, has been named by Meteo France as Frederico. That area of low pressure moving in, bringing us the rain and the gusty winds. So the rain will arrive during the second part of the night. Initially, it's clear for northern and eastern areas, increasing cloud from the southwest, the arrival of that heavy rain during the early hours of the morning. Cool for some, away from the rain, lows of 3 or 4 Celsius for northern areas, but along the coast, temperatures starting to rise with the arrival of the rain and lows of 9 Celsius. So the rain could be quite heavy where it starts to push its way in, moving around that area of low pressure. The centre of the low pressure is actually in the channel, and we all see the rain start to clear away, but it could cause localised flooding where the ground is already very saturated. Temperatures tomorrow will peak around 7 to 11 Celsius. The rain gradually turning more patchier as we head through tomorrow evening and tomorrow night. So for the coastal forecast, the winds are starting to change direction. They are northerly, backing northwesterly 4 to 6, backing westerly 3 or 4, and the visibility is good, moderate or good, occasionally poor. So through the course of tomorrow night, further rain is a possibility. Another weather front starts to move in, adding to the high rainfall totals already. That starts to clear away. Clearer skies develop in places, and temperatures will fall between 3 and 9 Celsius. So we're expecting a dry start to Friday. In fact, a window between weather fronts or low pressure systems. Friday's a mainly dry day with some decent spells of sunshine. This next weather front will start pushing in as we head through Friday night into the early hours of Saturday morning, bringing some heavy rain and pretty gusty winds. So here's the outlook for the rest of the week. We are looking at some heavy rain tomorrow. That Met Office warning is in force through the morning tomorrow up until 6 o'clock in the evening. Sunny spells as we head through Friday, turning wet and windy into the weekend. If you'd like to become a weather watch, you can log on to this website, bbc.co.uk/weather watchers. And Jana.
Alexis, thank you very much. I must say I prefer the sunny spells. I don't like
do
rain
as well.
quite so
Yes,
much.
Exactly.
Now, you may have noticed we've got this rather nice new set. We certainly like it.
Swanky. Brilliant, yeah,
It's
very
been
nice.
really good, hasn't it?
Yeah.
And we hope you do too. John Cuthill will be here tonight with the late bulletin at 10:30, and all 3 of us back here tomorrow.
Yeah.
Same time, same place, same studio. So I hope you can join us then. Thanks for watching.
Good night.
Good night.
Favorite kind of newscast moment is when you sort of have a eureka moment. You're like, oh yeah, that's what this is about.
My favourite thing is just having like the space